Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 2. That was your number 1. Okay, so my number 1 is Payday 2 on the Xbox 360.
Okay.
You haven't played this, no?
I haven't played this, but I know it's the game a lot of people have been talking about over the last week, and I've been interested in playing it, definitely.
Yeah, this is a difficult one for me because I love how excited and how much people are really loving this game. And I'll say straight away, if you were a fan of Payday the Heist, you will love this. It's more of the same with a few changes, a vastly expanded customization suite. But for all intents and purposes, it's the same game. Did you ever play Payday the Heist?
No, I was aware of it, but I never played it.
Yeah, I played it a little bit. I wasn't a massive fan of it. It was fine. It was passable. I didn't love it. But if you loved the first one, I'm no doubt that you will love the second one. I didn't care for it very much, and I have to say there's been a little bit of there's been a bit of noise on the internet, nothing substantiated, but people were saying that there is a vast difference between the PC version and the 360 version. That goes without saying, but it's not. Apparently, people are saying that it's not just in terms of visuals.
Right.
It's just a lesser game in all departments, from what I'm hearing. And I played the 360 version, so that may play a part in it. My first problem with it is that, like the first game, you have to have an immense amount of time on your hands. Leveling up is a very, very long-winded process, and it's the kind of game where you have to grind. And things like that put me on the back foot straight away. I'm just I don't want to get into a near World of Warcraft situation for a co-op shooter.
No.
Some people clearly love that and they respond to it, and people have told me that they level up far faster than I'm leveling up. But it's a long-winded process, and for example, you don't get anything. It drip feeds things that you need so slowly. You don't get any armour at all until you hit level 12, which took me a good few hours.
Right.
And so there's that. And you get things slowly, and it clearly been designed to be played over the course of months rather than days or weeks. The other thing is that the game is very, very slow. And when I say slow, what I mean is basically you go into a situation, whether it's a bank robbery or a jewel heist, or there's all these different scenarios. Inevitably, what you have to do involves a hell of a lot of waiting. So if you go into a bank, you'll set up a drill, and then you'll sit there and you'll have to wait for 5 minutes or more than that. If you want to go and empty a safety deposit box, you look at a dial turning for 20 seconds, and it's just everything involves waiting. And the most frustrating thing about the game is that I wanted to buy. All I wanted, forget about extra guns, modifications, all that stuff. All I want to do is bypass waiting for everything to happen. And you can get C4 and stuff, but it's one of the last things you unlock. So you have to grind and grind and grind. So it's a lot of waiting around. It's a game that I admire a hell of a lot because it's about as close as you can get to a simulator of what it would be like to be in a bank heist, because you have to be in constant. It's near military, the amount of communication that you have to be in and cooperation. You have to be in constant communication because the second someone steps out of line, things can fuck up. I have a lot of admiration for it. If things have gone to shit and there's bullets flying all over the place and you think I'm going to run to the getaway van and just lob a bag of money or gold in there, if someone's not covering you, you're going to die and you'll fuck the mission up.
Right.
That's what I think people love so much about it. It's because you don't stop talking to each other, otherwise you'll fail. And there's something quite invigorating and exciting about that. I played this game for several hours with a bunch of people who weren't talking to each other, and I played it for a lot more time with a bunch of people who were talking to each other. A bunch of 3 French guys who, for my benefit, spoke English, and just lovely fucking guys. We played for hours and hours.
Oh, nice.
The experience of that was just, I was like, there's so much of what the appeal of the game is. I couldn't derive any sense of reward from succeeding in the game because it's just there are far too many breaks in it. For example, we executed the perfect entrance into a bank, and I executed a silent kill that no one should have heard, and inexplicably everyone in the bank was instantaneously alerted, and they let the alarms went off, and then it was there. As soon as a mission goes pear-shaped, you're fighting waves of enemy AI. That's it, and they get harder and harder and harder. The AI is absolutely appalling, and again, apparently this is not the case on the PC, but on the 360 one, I had SWAT teams shooting into empty rooms. I had them walking in backwards to rooms, and there was this thing that happened to me 3 times in which it would be a little bit quiet, The alarms were going off. It should have been chaos. We should have been sort of in the middle of chaos, and nothing happened. So I'd either step into a room or step just to have a look outside of the premises we were in, and there'd be 3 guys standing there as if they're posing for a photo. And as soon as I step in front of them, they'd all shoot me, and then I'd immediately go down. And I'm just like, what is that? It's just buggy as hell. The beauty of the game is that you can, unlike the predecessor, you can stealth things up, but when we did manage to succeed, I didn't get any satisfaction from it, because you know that the rules can just be broken by the game itself. So I was just like, it is really unsatisfying when it's a combat game. The gunplay is really floaty, and as I've said earlier, I'm really done with fighting waves and waves of AI enemies. I'm really not interested in that. There's some really good systems that have come over from the first game. I mean, there's a crazy, it's set in La La Land, obviously, because if one of your guys gets downed and you can't revive him, he basically gets taken by the police, and you can have him back. If you trade him for a hostage, they'll just let you walk back into the bank, into the chaos. I mean, it's mental, but it does work in the context of the game sort of quite well. But the way that they allow you to do this, again, this is another thing that the game just did on a handful of occasions. I was just like, that's just pissing me off. Is that despite the fact that you're surrounded and there's all of these police outside, there's just pedestrians who can just walk in off the street, and then you can take them hostage and they go, hey, I want my mate back. I mean, it's just the game's full of instances where I'm just like, this is not satisfying. If the foundations were more rigid, I just couldn't derive any satisfaction from it. When we did things well, I was just like, that was great fun, but it could have failed, and when we do fail, it's going to be all the more annoying. Another one thing that's very, very good about it, and it was another thing that was good about the first one, is that the end of the mission, the difficulty of it is dictated by how greedy you are, and every single time, no matter what scenario you're in, no matter if everything's gone to hell and there's police everywhere, or whether you've managed to stealth it up, you always think, I'll go back in there for a bit more. I can go and grab another bag full of money, or I'll go and get one more bag of coke, and and that's brilliant, because it's the way. In one instance, one guy said, I'm just gonna go and get this. And we're like, no, the fucking getaway van's around the back. We've got to go fucking get away. We lost the mission because of him, and we all fucking berated the shit out of him. And I was like, that's brilliant, because that's what would happen. You can imagine that happening in a real heist. You're like, you dickhead went back for more money, and now we're all in the clink. So I can understand the appeal of this game big time. There were too many things wrong with the 360 version. Coordinating, constant communication, that's beautiful. It's brilliant when it works like that. But the game itself, I just found it really irritating. The HUD's amazing. All 4 players you can see on the bottom of your screen at all times. You can see how much ammo they've got, how much health they've got, and if they're doing something, you can see the progress dial, so you know exactly. You don't have to ask, do you need this, do you need that? It's all on your screen. That's brilliant also. And it's, did you actually, you didn't play the first one at all? No,
not at all.
Another thing that forces you to communicate is that if you're the guy that carries the ammo, you have one ammo bag, and each of you can use it one time, or it can be used by one person 4 times. Okay. But after that, it's gone. You're not going to get any more ammo. The same with the health bag. So if you put that down too early or put it down at the wrong time, you're going to screw yourself. So again, it's another thing that forces you to communicate. I don't know why there aren't more heist simulators in this world, because there really should be. I want to love this. The thought of this game, the idea behind it, the concept of it, it's just exciting. It's so exciting, but the execution really let me down. I know a lot of people aren't having these problems. It's out on 360 today, so maybe we'll see. I will possibly go back to it and see what it's like with a different set of friends and levelling up a little bit. I mean, that long-windedness is a real problem for me, because it's designed to. It seems like they've taken a game that was originally £15, made it £30, and the way they've done that primarily is make it seem longer by forcing you to level up over the course of a very long time. And I should just say, completely worthless as a single-player game. Completely worthless.
So I hear, yeah.
Your AI people almost literally do nothing. If you get gunned down, they'll help you. If you need to fix the drills, that's the other thing that's annoying. The drills, as long as they take 5-10 minutes. They keep breaking down, so you have to keep running in and fixing them. They won't do that. The cops in one mission keep shutting the electricity off when you're trying to send this data, blah blah blah. They won't help and do that. And if there's a mission where you have to carry 8 bags of coke from a van to a getaway car, you're going to have to do all 8 It's basically it's not playable as a single player game at all. And yeah, I found it overwhelmingly tedious after a little while. I have to be honest. I'm so thrilled to see that people are enjoying it as much as they have. But yeah, it left me really disappointed. I will play more though, and I'll let you know. But for the moment, it left me really underwhelmed. And I did in excess of 20 hours I've played. So I think,
Jesus,
yeah, I've given it more than enough of a shot. I think.
Yeah, it does sound really interesting, but. My concern is everything you said, obviously, and I've talked about this before. I'm not going to have the ability to play it properly, so that's why I've avoided it. Everything about it seemed right up my street, but I know practically that I'm not going to be able to get. I can't be one of those guys anymore. Or I used to be, where you come home from work, and then what do you do? Do you jump online with your mates and you play the same game Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday? You know, that ain't my life anymore, which is fine, but that's just the way it goes. So that game, Borderlands, a few others, just more so than a Battlefield or a Call of Duty, because I can jump on when other people are on. Then it doesn't need to be. You don't need to be on the same level. You know, all the stuff. I mean, and with co-op, it needs to be more coordinated. And and playing with randoms on PC, nobody speaks on the voice really. I don't think so. I would get it on PC, obviously. So I just don't think that game's going to happen. But thankfully, I can heist it up in GTA next month. So
see, that's it's made me think of GTA as well, and that's what I'm waiting for. But even if you could schedule a routine sort of once a week to play it or whatever, the fact that in order to get decent stuff, to even get body armor, and that's the most frustrating thing, because the first few hours are you just getting gunned down instantly, and it's just like, the first body armor you get is level 12. One more thing I'll say about it with regards to leveling up: you get almost nothing XP wise if you fail. So in one instance, when I was playing with these guys who weren't talking, we spent 2 hours doing 3 different missions and failing all 3 at the very last minute.
No.
And we got no XP, so you can't even level up that way. I was like, that's just 2 hours of my life wasted because this game is a bastard. I appreciate the difficulty in the game, but outside of it, in the with regards to dishing XP, the fact that you're not progressing for all of that work, that's ridiculous. They give you like a tiny amount, so you can't level up. 2 hours where it's brutal. It's for people who buy, on PC you can buy it as a 4-pack. Those people are going to love it. It's made for them. I'm going to play some more, but I couldn't forgive the bugs more than anything, and I don't know whether they're on the PC also, but on the Xbox 360 at the current time they were really, really quite fucking shocking in places, and that led to the rest of the game not being rewarding. So there you go.